right? We're keeping, we're watchful here. Western Racine, western portions of Kenosha County as well. So just keep that in mind.
Again, as Drew's talking that we're seeing broad rotation with this cell, I do want to point out again, the cell has produced multiple tornadoes. I got 2 reports from both Rock County that there were trees down, damage to homes just north of the airport on Beloit Avenue. And this cell also produced a tornado near Argyle. Apparently there was a church that was hit directly. It's a complete loss. So these storms, when they do produce tornadoes, they are pretty violent. They've been doing damage not just to trees and out in the middle of fields. They're hitting homes. That's why we've been seeing that debris being lofted. And we're going to keep a very close eye on this cell. Again, tornado warning goes until 8:45 for Walworth County. In the last couple of scans with this rotation, if we want to take it full again, just to give you a better idea so I'm not blocking it, it's starting to kind of take that southeasterly dive just a little bit, which is a new trend here, Drew.
Yeah, and that's a concern because I think if that right turns a little bit, that could enhance some of the vorticity to it. So that's just really troubling to hear about that church,
yes.
And that damage. This is, it's just not what you want to hear.
It is not. And again, I don't want to forget anybody north of this tornado warning.
Yeah.
We still have severe thunderstorm warnings in effect.
Right.
We're not seeing rotation anymore within these cells, but still torrential rainfall, 60-mile-per-hour winds are occurring.
And maybe real quickly, Sam, let's do a storm track into the Summerfest grounds,
yes.
If we can. Now, I mentioned...
Let me turn off the layers.
We've talked about the Dave Matthews concert postponed, but... Summerfest not that far away, and we've got this line. We've turned off the lightning, by the way, just to try to clean this up a little bit, but we can turn that on, because sometimes people look and go, there's not even any lightning with that, but yeah, bottom line is there is. So Pewaukee at 8:18, couple of minutes from now, Waukesha 8:24, State Fair Park at 8:38. Is Greek Fest still going on too, I think?
Yes.
So good grief. Milwaukee 8:44.
We also have Strawberry Fest.
Strawberry Fest, Cedarburg, correct?
And the Tacos and Tequila Festival. That's going on in Franklin at the Rock.
Of course.
Really no place to take shelter there outside of your car. So probably folks should start heading that way.
Yeah, that's a great point. You're looking at, probably, another, 15, 20 minutes or so before those storms move through. Again, these are severe thunderstorms capable of 60-mile-an-hour winds and some hail. We don't have anything here immediate. Sam, can you turn the lightning on real quick?
Yes.
I just want to take a look at that. So again, plenty of lightning as well within these storms. So they are definitely charged up. So that gives you an idea. Maybe someone at Summerfest right now waiting on a good concert. Give them a call, give them a text. Be like, watch out. Those storms are on the way. So we've got the line of storms, and then you've got this guy riding the south here, and there's still that notch right over Elkhorn, and that's why that tornado warning, continues.
I did want to point out, too, I'm going to zoom out wide. There's nothing behind this. Once this moves on through, this is with the cold front.
Right.
We're going to be done with severe weather once this passes on through. So, again, we are getting, probably about half hour, 40 minutes until this hits the Summerfest grounds. So those acts that go on at 10 o'clock might be able to still go on. But I know Headliners started, SZA started at 7:30.
Okay.
There might be some delay there. Of course, anytime there's lightning around, you do not want to be outside. In fact, the golf tournament we had on CBS 58 earlier today, 2 folks were actually struck by lightning at that golf tournament that was in postponement. So if you can hear thunder, you are close enough to be struck by lightning. There's a lot of cloud-to-ground lightning happening within these storms. You do not want to be outside as these are passing through. Again, if you have friends at the Summerfest grounds, there's a lot of shelters there, indoor shelters. Indoor is best. If not, car is the next best place to be. But you don't want to stay outside.
All right. Let's go back to that tornado warning storm. We've kind of gone around. We're still seeing inside that storm. Rotation continues to be broad, which is what we like to see. But if we see this thing tighten up a little bit more, that's definitely going to be a concern. Listen, we still need to be in that safe spot. And definitely new scan there.
That's some strong wind.
Yeah.
Going to Delavan right now.
Very much so.
It's not rotating as much.
Right. This is, so the radar is up here and the winds are coming, away from the radar. That's what you're seeing out of the red. So Delavan, you're going to be rolled over with some very strong winds, 60-mile-an-hour winds. So that's obviously going to be a concern. Williams Bay, right around, Geneva Lake, we're expecting, some strong winds as well. That tornado warning continues until 8:45 as those storms come through. Dangerous storms tonight. They've had the history of damage. Sam had mentioned that earlier in the Argyle community, a church that was directly hit. And sadly, Sam, you and I were looking at the debris, and most likely that's exactly what that was. Sam?
All right, zooming back into this area that we were just highlighting here, the Walworth County Emergency Manager says estimated 70 to 80 mile per hour winds occurring.
In Darien?
Yep. Highway 11 and 14.
Jeez.
Right there. So right where we're zoomed in here. We're mainly seeing straight line winds with this 70 to 80 miles per hour. So again, doesn't matter if it's spinning or coming right at you, it's going to be doing damage. You don't even want to be by windows. Again, most of you should be in your tornado safe space right now. Do not get out of it, even though we're not seeing tight rotation. This is some very intense wind. Yeah,
so you're getting emergency managers that are at least confirming damaging winds over 70 miles an hour. And this, anytime you see this on our radar, where that red looks starting to turn white, that's the strong winds that they're seeing. That could be rear flank downdraft. I mean, just depending on where that is in that part of the storm. But damaging winds, a possibility. So even if it's not producing a tornado, 80-mile-an-hour winds, that's like EF0, tornado strength. So doesn't really matter. Stay away from windows. Get yourself in that safe spot. Let those storms come through. Now behind it, you're going to get a lot of heavy rain as well, so that would be a flooding concern there. So this is the only tornado warning that we have here, but notice we've got severe thunderstorm warnings. Does that include Ozaukee too?
Yes, it does.
All right.
Not the Port Washington area, but southern half of Ozaukee County.
All right, and you said Strawberry Fest. I don't know what the hours are to that. To be honest with you. But listen, it's summertime. People are outdoors, right?
Yes. So this new severe thunderstorm warning that goes all the way to the lake. So Ozaukee, Milwaukee, Racine, Kenosha counties, this warning goes until 9:15. Okay. 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts. They're still keeping that tornado possible tag. Of course. We're going to be keeping a close eye on it. But it's still accelerating. It's moving to the east at 50 miles per hour. So I might do a storm track here for the whole squall line.
Yeah, we should.
In and of itself. Again, just since we're seeing broad rotation down in Walworth County, even though we are seeing reports of 70 to 80 mile per hour winds. The rest of the severe storms are warned for 60 mile per hour winds, but it does not take much to bring down some of those stronger gusts.
No, and the other thing to that, Sam, I want to piggyback. These areas have had a lot of rain, so the soil, is saturated, and so even 50 to 60 mile an hour winds can can pull out trees. So just another gee whiz thing, for you. So here's the latest storm track here. Waukesha, a couple of minutes from now. Milwaukee, 8:44. Summerfest grounds, 8:46. All right, if we want to be specific. Kenosha, 9:07. So that's what we're looking at. And this is exactly what Sam said. Clear real estate to the west. So this is it. the front blows through, and tomorrow is going to feel like a completely different day across the area. Humidity drops nicely, and it's definitely going to be pretty comfortable. So with that being said, we still have those strong winds throughout the Walworth County area. Some estimations there from emergency managers over 70 miles an hour. So clearly a concern, in and around the Walworth County area. We still have that tornado warning that goes for another 20 minutes or so within Walworth County. We will see what happens there. Sam?
We have a viewer damage report near Watertown. We were tracking that confirmed tornado earlier. Caller says there's a lot of damage near Watertown. At least one house was destroyed along with a barn. A lot of power poles and trees down. It's an area close to Farm and Fleet. That's, if you're familiar with the area, that's where that tornado went by. Again, a lot of damage near Watertown. That's on the west side of Watertown. We were tracking that confirmed tornado earlier. At this point, we don't have any confirmed tornadoes, but we still have that the severe wind gusts and tornado warning in Walworth County. But I wanted to pass along that we are getting damage reports now out of the Watertown area. In case it does cycle, but if you're getting 70 to 80 mile per hour straight line winds, that's going to be doing damage just the same. It looks like we just got a new scan again. I'm going to zoom in a little bit closer here.
Yeah, these winds are intense.
Right
these are
over
damaging
Delavan.
winds. Yeah.
East Delavan, Elkhorn, Geneva.
Let's query that.
Shelter now.
Yeah, let's query that. I mean, those some very, very strong winds, probably closer to 70 miles an hour as they come through. East Delavan, over Delavan right now, Elkhorn, even if that is not, a tornado producing. As you can see me right here, all right, so we are looking in, to that storm. And so probably from the lake itself, but yeah, that is menacing.
Yep.
And
I can't zoom out any farther. So.
No, I think that's fine. I mean, that's quite a view there. And once that rolls over the lake, I mean, you're going to get that's going to roll. Severe thunderstorm moving throughout the area, so stay away from windows as those storms come through. We are not seeing any rotation.
So that's got to be right where we're zoomed in right now.
Yeah,
Delavan,
that's where it looks like.
Delavan. Tornado is starting, the cell is getting quite a bit closer. No more updates though from the Weather Service on that.
Well, that's going to be coming through pretty quickly. I mean, these storms are moving right around 50 miles an hour. So, yeah, we're just coordinated a little bit with the newsroom as well, especially with some of the information that we have out of the Watertown area, damage there from a possible tornado. The community of Argyle was hit. There was a church that was hit there. Sam and I were using that debris tracker, looking at that and and showing that. So whether this is tightening up for a possible tornado or damaging winds, I think it's probably fair to to expect over 70-mile-an-hour winds as that storm, comes through, right between East Delavan and, Delavan, it's starting to move east, of you. And then we've got our Lake Geneva camera up, so we...
Turn it a little bit. Look at that wall of water.
Yeah, there it is. So that's quite a vantage point. And honestly, I mean, you're looking pretty much into where, a developing tornado would be. Honestly, usually these cameras, they're kind of in random areas and, it can be tough, to get that. But we definitely want to stay on that. There's a lot of lightning, going on in there. And sometimes, it gets a little pixelated here. But that storm, should be rolling right over the lake fairly soon. It's not that far away. I mean, it's sitting right here. Here's Williams Bay. Here's East Delavan. We'll get another scan, I'm sure coming up here, and it probably is going to be a little bit further to the south and east. We're also watching this storm for places like western Kenosha County, western Racine County. We don't have, tornado warnings in your area by any means, but it's something that we want to, we want to keep in mind so storms come through.
And this is a good reminder now that we're showing you this view of the storm that is tornado warned passing near Geneva Lake. You can't see anything.
No.
There is so much rain involved in these storms.
Yeah,
Sorry.
We're not going to be either. I mean, this is going to be really, really dark as it comes through. I'm waiting on another scan.
Yeah, the scans have been slow. I'm going to flip over to the debris signature, though.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Because we might be getting, I need to readjust the camera view on it. One moment, please.
No, that's fine. Yeah, it's tough.
It was still up by Watertown. Okay, we have a new tornado warning now issued for Kenosha and Walworth County.
All right, not
surprising.
That's debris around Williams Bay.
Yes.
So all right, they're going to reissue the tornado warning. Stay on that camera, please.
Yes.
But I do want to reset once that warning comes out. Sam, let's.
That looks like 2 tornado debris signatures.
Yeah, I know, and so that's tracking right toward Lake Geneva, which is right toward our camera.
Yes. So we're going to keep on that camera 2 tornado debris signatures. I will circle them right now.
Yeah, I mean they're sitting right here. So, and I guess it's also possible, with damaging winds, but this is an extremely dangerous storm, and there's a high likelihood of damaging winds well over 70 miles an hour, possible tornado as well. As we get that information, we've got our Lake Geneva Cruise Line camera that is right out over the lake and is pointed directly into the storm as it moves close. So we're going to see. I mean, it's going to be very tough. And Sam had mentioned this earlier. The bottom line is when you get rain wrapped and all of that, it is really, really, really hard to see, a whole lot.
They're confirming those tornadoes now.
So they're confirming 2?
Not 2.
Okay, but the debris.
Yes, they're saying radar confirmed tornado because of that debris.
All right.
And they are saying 2 tornado debris signatures. Yep. So
All right.
we're right on it.
We're all seeing the same thing. let's jump over to velocity and maybe storm relative velocity, and let's just see if we can, diagnose what's going on.
Let me get over to storm relative.
Sure.
1 second. Apologies, our graphic system's moving a little bit slow right now.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of data, and sometimes with the storms, that can happen. So
2 areas of rotation.
Yeah, if you were watching from Williams Bay, if you're watching from, Geneva, obviously you need to be in that safe spot. We are live streaming on our CBS 58 Ready Weather app. You can have that with you. We are also live streaming, doing Facebook Live as well. This is a dangerous storm. Potential for a tornado. Damage is occurring. We are seeing that with the debris, that's being lofted. So if you are in Lake Geneva, now is the time, and that storm is going to roll, and we are getting live pictures from that tornado-warned storm as it moves into the Lake Geneva area. One good thing I noticed, Sam, as we started calling up that, I wasn't seeing any boats that were out and about on the lake. So at least people were, were off the lake there, but. We had reports, at least in western Walworth County earlier, of 70 to 80 mile an hour. Storm, has had the history of those strong winds. We heard that from the emergency management as it. So obviously, this storm continues to track, to the east, and it will be going into Kenosha County, and that's why we do have that tornado warning there. So if you have folks that in Twin Lakes, into Wheatland, right around the Slade's Corners area, give them a call, let them know. Tornado warning, continues for your area, and that goes until 9:15. Is that what you said?
Yes.
9:15. On that particular. In upwards of 80 miles an hour. So we've had several storms produce tornadoes tonight with damage. As you can see from our cruise line camera, our Lake Geneva cruise line. Coming over the lake. And it might have just took more of a northerly jog, at least, from where we are, from our vantage point. But I'll tell you, when we did see that about 15 to 20 minutes ago, you could see the structure of that storm as it was moving.
Haven't gotten a new debris scan in yet. The last scan was in strong winds being sampled by radar. Now, again, I'll zoom out a little bit because we are getting a little bit farther away from the radar beam. Might be getting a little bit higher up into the storm, but normally.
Here's the radar right here.
When we have
And it's been a busy night, a very, very busy night. Sam, you have new info?
Not new info. They're telling folks to shelter at Summerfest. So get out of the concert, get into a place. Miles per hour. And we're also seeing flash flood warnings continuing. If you're in Twin Lakes, Wheatland, Trevor, I'll do a storm track for you. It's a little bit difficult from a until 9:15.
You moving these about 50?
Yes.
Yeah. All right, so here's the latest storm track here, 844 in Randall. Twin Lakes area at 8:45, Wheatland at 8:50, Salem at 8:55, right around 9 o'clock in the Bristol area as the storms come through. Sam?
We can also take we have a Summerfest camera right now if we want to take that.
Yeah, I think we're probably good.
Because we're not going to see too much in Lake Geneva anymore besides that constant lightning.
Right. Do we have a live shot at Summerfest, or is this just one of our... Okay, yeah, that's coming from our sailing center, I think.
Correct.
Okay, so we're looking at that there.
Again, passing along now that since the storms have cleared Dodge and Jefferson County, you have also been taken out of the tornado watch. Once this line moves over the lake, we are done with severe weather for the night, folks.
Yeah, obviously a concern in Walworth County, whether this is, a tornado on the ground or, damaging winds over 80 miles an hour. This is very problematic. It is moving very quickly and will continue to track into Kenosha County. Anytime you're seeing these bright, shades show up on the radar, especially in the velocity, the radar is sensing some very strong winds. Sam had mentioned sometimes those get dragged down, by the heavy rainfall, and you can see some heavier gusts, maybe some isolated gusts that are even stronger than that. So Williams Bay, Lake Geneva, all those areas, you still need to be in your safe spot. Bloomfield, Twin Lakes, now's the time. You got a few minutes or so before those storms come through.
And we haven't got a new velocity scan here in a few minutes.
That.
Should be coming in soon. But the Weather Service is saying that what we've been saying, it's entirely plausible to see a few more spin-ups in western Kenosha County from this same cell that has been producing very quick spin-ups with confirmed damaging tornadoes. At the moment, we haven't gotten a new velocity scan to show any tighter couplets. I will flip back over to the debris signature to see if we are seeing anything there. We were seeing 2 debris signatures just a little bit ago near Lake Geneva and Williams Bay. It looks like we are not seeing any debris signatures right now, which is great news. But all it takes is a couple of minutes and the storm recycles. The storm tightens up and it gets that rotation once again. So tornado warning does go until 9:15 for western Kenosha County. It looks like we just got a new scan in. The real damaging winds looks to be like west of Genoa City.
Right.
But is that a couplet just north of Twin Lakes there?
I think it is, and I don't know if there's just a little radar, dropout of some sort, or I'm not exactly sure, but
Weather Service is agreeing.
Yeah, that's troubling where that is. So.
Yes, I'm going to zoom in a little bit more. So this is just south of Slade's Corners. This is south of Highway 50. It's actually last night into this morning. So it can take a little bit of water down in those locations. But yeah, I'm going to go flip back over to velocity just so we can keep tabs on this tightening rotation. I'm not sure why it is taking more than 5 minutes to be getting these radar scans in.
And I just want to let everyone know the severe thunderstorm warnings, Ozaukee, Washington, Waukesha have been canceled.
Thunderstorm warnings, and of course, western Kenosha County, west of 94 is under that tornado warning. Yeah, so all of this really on the southern part, of our area. We're waiting on, the latest scan, if you will. Hopefully that gives us an idea. But Twin Lakes, Wheatland, Slade's Corners, hopefully you are safe in that basement. Scanned scan.
Yeah, it looks like just a bad batch. No.
Here we go.
All right, that's the latest right there. So right where, we've been watching that couplet to the south of Wheatland, that's where you were mentioning
Yes.
that debris. Of course, we didn't see that on our last scan, but we can take a look at that and see if if it's caught up.
It hasn't. I'm looking at it on the radar on my phone.
Yeah, on radar scope, sure.
And I will go ahead and just circle it. It was very brief. It looks like the latest scan, it has lifted. There it was. Right there.
I see it, sure. Just
It was very brief.
Yep.
Just south of Highway 50 in Wheatland. So right where we were seeing that couplet,
Yep.
might have picked up a little bit, might have touched down very briefly.
Could have been. Yeah.
But the latest scan does not have that signature anymore, which is good news.
Which is great, yeah. Again, these storms are rolling right around 50 miles an hour, so they will be coming through and they will be leaving and exiting. So, by 9:30 tonight, we should be calming down, quieting down, which is great news. So. Here's Wilmot Mountain here, right? Silver Lake between Wheatland and Twin Lakes. We're still picking up on, a little, some rotation there. Tornado warning, continues within that area. We still have severe thunderstorm warnings. And look at that, winds are still over 70 miles an hour, almost 80. And where did you query that? Was that just
to the east of Genoa City?
Just to the east of Genoa City. All right, that makes sense when you start seeing these colors on the radar screen there. So we still have a severe thunderstorm warning for Milwaukee County as the storms are blowing through there. They've been canceled in Waukesha County, also throughout Ozaukee County. So we're finally seeing a little bit of a break there. But right now it is coming down on the Summerfest grounds big time as the storms come through. We talked about Dave Matthews postponing that concert tonight with the severe weather that rolled throughout Walworth County. So this is the storm of concern.
Yes.
And here's the lakefront. So we are not that far from that storm to be moving out over the lake.
And I want to point out, if you were taking shelter in Walworth County, you are safe to come out of your shelter now. We no longer have any tornado warnings there.
Good.
The worst of those cells have either moved into Illinois or into Kenosha County, and we're getting a new scan here now.
There it goes.
I'm going to keep a close eye to see if they do extend that tornado warning actually into the city of Kenosha and Pleasant Prairie. Right now,
we're right up against the box.
Yes. So I'm going to ask the Weather Service.
Yeah, no, that's good. Hopefully that rotation, it becomes a little bit more broad. But the way things have gone, though, tonight, they seem to just, out of abundance of caution, and for great reason. These have been great calls tonight because, we've had confirmed tornadoes and we've seen, damage reports and all of that in our area, the Watertown area, the town of Argyle earlier today. Looks like a church was hit with damage there. So this has definitely been a busy night, a damaging night for some communities as well. And it's obviously tough when that torrential rain is coming down. Tough to really get a vantage point of what's been going on. So we'll see what the Weather Service says about that. But on the backside of this, still some strong damaging winds and possibility as that storm rolls through from 70, maybe up to 80 miles an hour. So that's the most intense storm that we have. Makes sense because this area hasn't seen a whole lot from earlier on today, but storm's going to be racing through at 50 miles an hour. So by 9:30 tonight, we should really be expecting the whole area to be calming down and quieting down as these showers and thunderstorms exit the area. But for now, if you're watching from Kenosha County, especially the city of Kenosha itself, you are not in the tornado warned part. But at any point, they may extend this warning, and you may have to, get into that basement, get into that ready spot. So just keep that in mind, Sam.
It looks like we are getting reports, damage reports, not from a tornado, but from straight line winds near the Waterford area. Potentially. We'll double check on that. But we've had the confirmed damage up near Watertown. We've had We've had the damage reports throughout Rock and near Argyle from Janesville from the same cell. Again, I'm telling my family that lives in Kenosha right now, the city of Kenosha, even though they're not under a tornado warning, with how fast tornadoes have been produced from this cell, just better to be safe than sorry. Just take it to the basement until this storm reaches the lake. It's moving at 50 miles per hour. Sorry, reading new information from the Weather Service, they're saying there's no evident rotation at the moment, but they've been very brief and very quick to spin up, so we're going to keep on this for now. I'll move that view a little bit more. Again, the intense winds moving through Twin Lakes, going to be hitting Trevor pretty soon. Salem Lakes, you're right under the gun as well, but at this moment, we don't see any areas of rotation. It briefly tightened up a little bit over Wheatland. It has since broadened a little bit. But at this point, we're keeping that one tornado warning until 9:15, severe thunderstorm warning. Let me double check that. It does go until, I believe, 9:15 as well.
Oh, yeah, I think that's what we were saying. Yeah, 9:15.
They're moving at 60 miles an hour, though.
Yeah.
So it is racing now.
Storms are racing. That's great. Get them in, get them out, and be done with it. So if you're watching from Walworth County, great news for you. No more severe weather. We've got some rain going on there. Our main concern, and it's a severe thunderstorm warning that continues throughout Racine County, into Kenosha itself, the town of Kenosha. But we are watching, that tornado warned part. We will see what happens. Like Sam said, it continues until 9:15, so they may just let that go at this point. They could extend it a little bit further to the east. It is moving fast. I mean, the tornado warned part of that storm itself is exiting, the tornado box itself, the polygon box. So either extend it or drop it. But still that severe thunderstorm warning for Milwaukee County, but that is...
Most of that's over the lake now.
Yeah, the real intense stuff is out over the lake, and you're going to get, more, just some lighter rain really moving in over the next... next 10 to 15 minutes or so. So good news there. Nothing severe with anything going on throughout the north. We're just, waiting for what's going to be happening in Kenosha County. So we've had numerous tornado warnings, numerous tornadoes that will need to be surveyed for tomorrow across the state. And with damage as well, Sam.
This cell alone, that's still tornado warned, I believe we've seen 5 tornado debris signatures with it as it's moved across southern Wisconsin, beginning in Argyle.
Sounds about right.
A confirmed tornado there, did damage on the south side of Janesville. We had 2 tornado debris signatures, which means radar confirmed tornado near Williams Bay and west of Lake Geneva.
Right.
Maybe a very brief one. It was only lasted a scan over Wheatland, and it wasn't as intense as the ones we were seeing earlier. But again, still severe and tornadic storm is moving through Kenosha County at 60 miles per hour, though.
And that was just that one. And then we had the Watertown storm, which producing some damage, around Watertown tonight. So a lot to look at, for tomorrow when the National Weather Service will have to go out and survey that. So, we still have broad rotation, out of the storm in Kenosha County, still showing some very strong winds on the backside of this. When was the last update on this? It's been a few minutes, or?
That is the latest one. It looks like those really, really strong winds are going more into Illinois.
Moving into
Antioch there.
Okay.
Not seeing any signs of rotation and not seeing any debris signatures. So all good news there.
Good news. The tornado warning, at least at this point, continues until...
They're drawing up a tornado warning that's going to go to the lake. Okay.
I mean, it makes sense, guys. Yep. I mean, honestly, that's what's been happening.
So we'll keep it on our reflectivity right now, so we can see the new tornado warning pop up here.
Yeah. Well, and here's the thing.
Warning.
It's almost like a little. I don't know if you want to widen out just a little bit, Sam. I didn't really get to see it, but this is kind of bookend vortex, wise, on the northern part.
Yes.
So right along that border. But this is moving very quickly. So how are they just keeping the warning till 9:15 and just extending it out?
Nope, here comes a new one just issued right now. This is south side of Kenosha towards Pleasant Prairie.
Right.
New tornado warning goes until 9:30.
Okay.
Keeping the radar indicated rotation. Again, we've been saying it all night. These storms have been producing tornadoes very quickly.
Right.
And we'll go from radar indicated rotation to radar confirmed. So yes, Pleasant Prairie, south side of Kenosha. I'm going to zoom in a little bit further. It looks like Highway 165, right along I-94 there. That's where that couplet is.
Yep.
So it's going through Pleasant Prairie. It's going to be heading down Springbrook Road. And again, this is just north of the state line. So if you live near Russell Road.
Yeah, right. I mean, this is
Cooper Road. You folks there should be taking your tornado precautions right now. I'll flip back over to our velocity product since they did note that they are taking, they're seeing a little bit of tightening rotation. Again, our product has been a little bit delayed, but they're saying